Hey guys, it's your boy. I'm back again with another quick update for placeholder version 1.1. This version features event handling and also cooldowns that the previous version did not have. So you can see here I have this label that says hello world. Let's say I wanted to make this text animate, like go do this over and over again. I just have to put inside of the suffix, change the interval just to make it so it's not annoying. Look at that. There we go. That's better. And then you notice that now we have this new drop down list which gives us events that we can listen to. The first event is called undone. This event is only executed when the text is displayed, when all the text is displayed. Then it's going to execute the undone event. The undone event, and also there's another one called onMotion. The onMotion event is executed every time a letter is placed in the source label. So like whenever it places each character, it executes the event onMotion. Notice when you select the onMotion, nothing happens. That's because for onMotion to actually work, you have to select a do event. Do event gives you one of these options that you can select from. So you can see we have do end, which means to stop the execution. So this means it will just display one of the character and it will just stop. That's what do end is. And notice nothing is happening now. That's because it stopped, because there was nothing changed. But if you do modify it, I think actually let's do wait. This is more better. The do end, it just stops at one character or one letter. That's why it's not doing anything right now. It just stops at edge. That's notice that is when the motion gets executed, because it noticed there's a character placed, so it executes the event, which is onMotion. It detected a character, and then it executed the do event, which in this case is telling the whole script to stop working. Basically, that's what do end is. And then do wait tells it to, whenever a character is placed, to wait as a specific time. That's what do wait does. So over here it uses milliseconds. So if you put 1000, that would mean each character will be placed after 1 second. So notice now it's way slower. Even if I make this fast, if I take it all the way down, you'll notice it's still slow even when placing the character. That's because of this do wait event that we're using here, and we're using it onMotion. You can also use this do wait undone as well. So that means every time it reaches the end, it will wait for 1 second and then it will restart. Notice that's what's happening right now. It reaches 1 second and then it stops 1 second. It reaches all the end and then it stops 1 second and then it restarts again. That's what do undone event does. It makes it so once everything is completed, it's showed on the text, then it executes the event. And the onMotion event executes every time there's a character placed. There's also other do events that you can use here. Those are third-party events, and in this case we have this label called AAA, which is the one that's displaying ABC. And that label, this option here that you're saying hide to show is a filter that was added inside of this label called AAA. And this script is able to actually get that filter from us, from the source, and it can use the events that it provides, which are on hide event and also on show event. These are events that you can listen to. So that means whenever it's showing the motion event, and notice it's executing and now it's hidden. Notice the motion event is not moving anymore. It's gonna wait until it's visible again, and then it should work. There we go. So you can see now, oh, there it's hit. It stopped again because it basically listens for the events on show, and then it does its work. But if it's not on show, then it stops until it shows again. So you can see that's what's happening. Now all these events, like I said, these are third-party events, meaning the plugin filter that I'm using, this placeholder filter, did not code this. It actually comes from the API that it's provided by the hide to show script. So if you want to use this kind of thing, you could go to download the current version, which is version 5.5 of hide to show script, and it should provide you with the events that you would see on this option called listen to. If you haven't selected that, you would notice it doesn't have the listen to. That's because the listen to event only works with filters that actually have the open source. So if you don't have any filters, notice BBB doesn't have any filters. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It only has this filter, which it doesn't display on the list. So if it's the current filter, it doesn't display. But if it does have other sources like other filters, if you have multiple sources with filters, it will be displayed here. But those filters have to actually have an open API where the placeholder script could actually work with. So for example, let's go to AAA again and add a filter, add a random filter. So I'm gonna go here and add, let's say, color correction, for example. Now that I've added that, I could go back to the BBB source and then go back to here. You would notice now AAA has two filters. One of them is hide to show script, the other one is called color correction. So if I click on that one and then go to listen to, you'd notice it doesn't provide us with any events. That's because for the filter, for this to work, the filter has to have an open API where it could listen for events or like get value back from the things that are listed down here. And in this case, the color correction doesn't have that, so it does not show it on the listen to, but it does allow you to select it. It just doesn't know if it has it. It only knows if it has those things when you select it and then you go to listen to it. Then it will show what it has. But by default, it just displays all of them, and then you would find out later on if it has support or not. And in this case, color correction does not have support. The only one that has support, like I said, is hide to show script version 5.5. That's the latest version, which does support this kind of thing that we could do here. So notice it's doing its work, just like that. In the future, there might be more events that you could work with hide to show script, but right now, it only provides us with two events, which are the on show event and on hide event. And that's basically all there is with this new update. I don't think there is much more that I could tell about it. It's really simple. It just allows you to work with events. Previously it didn't do that, so I thought I should add some where you could make it wait for a certain minute, or even stop it once it reaches the end if you want to do that as well. So this is on motion, which just ends, but this one ends it once it reaches the end. So if I wanted to make it go slower, I could do that. Notice it's going to go very slow, and once it reaches the end, it's going to stop. Very simple, very cool. I like it. And the other events, like I said, the filters here, these are open APIs that they're the ones that provide us with the APIs that we could use, like with the functionality of this thing, or how it's supposed to work. And if it doesn't support it, it tells you there's no support, so you can't really do anything with it. So on motion, I think it actually stops because it doesn't know what to do here. It actually has to have something to work with on motion. But on done, it doesn't care. It seems like it just does what it just falls to default, basically. It just goes back to default, which is just letting this run forever, I guess. I think that's the default. So you can say it's just gonna keep on running. But yeah, that's really all there is with this new update. Thanks for watching it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright.